I remember a kid peeing on the animatronic at a birthday. Can't believe there's no more horny animatronics. Okay, do we want to learn about the history of Chuck E. Cheese? We could probably actually get through both of them, to be honest. It is surprisingly only 8:43 p.m. Yes. I used to go to Chuck E. Cheese all the time. Me and my sister, actually. One of my sisters was terrified of them, though. They were terrified, but I loved it.
Hello there. Welcome. If you are watching this, it is because you are under 35, and our main story this week was about homeowners association. So we thought we'd make a special substitute story just for you, as you will
I am under 35, hell yeah.
Never be able to afford a house. Never. Absolutely never. It will not happen. So in lieu of you having a home that is also an investment, which again won't happen for you, we've made this segment that taps into something for which you and your age cohort may have deep, deep nostalgia, and it concerns this.
How many times can you go to Chuck E. Cheese before you've done everything the rest
Chuck
of the
E. Cheese!
That's a very good question. Does eating pizza count? Eat the tunnel, jump in the ball.
Oh my god. Look at the quality of this. Oh my gosh.
Chuck E. Cheese with the seminal motto, where a kid can be a kid. As
Hell
opposed to
yeah.
where a kid can see a dead body in the parking lot, which I believe
what?
is the slogan for Applebee's.
Huh?
And it is not untrue. Also, if you are anything like me, you saw that ad and found yourself wondering, who the fuck is the old guy at the end there? I've got about 1,000 questions about incoherent Gandalf here. He looks like he just escaped from Jumanji, and he sounds like he just freebased tryptophan. It is hard to make out what he's saying there, but after my 50th viewing, I think I finally figured out what's going on. You see, they begin the ad by asking, how many times can you go to Chuck E. Cheese's before you've done everything that there is to do? And they end it with him pointing across the arcade as he says, I started right over here, implying that he's been going to Chuck E. Cheese for a conservative 100 years.
You can never. You'll be old before you finish everything that there is to do.
Essentially, the message of the ad is, come to Chuck E. Cheese, we guarantee you will die here. Now, if you were a child or a parent any time in the last 4 decades, you've undoubtedly been to a Chuck E. Cheese at least once. They're the original pizza and arcade.
Many more times than once, and frick yeah, the pizza.
Restaurant made famous by their animatronic band, which played hits like this.
We've got it together, we got it. We got it together with you. Now that we're together, things couldn't be better. Together we got it.
Oh, I remember the dog.
Yes! Munch's make-believe band fucking shreds. And I will introduce you to the whole band later on, but real quick, I simply love the fact that this purple monstrosity is named Munch. I adore any creature named after a colloquialism for a certain sex act, and I've got to say, the name does fit. That is the face of a deep-sea explorer. You can just tell. Pupalicious never stops diving. His treasure is your pleasure. He's a reverse DJ Khaled, if you will. But as an adult, you probably only hear about the restaurant whenever it gets bad press, like the fact that it was recently discovered that some Chuck E. Cheese's animatronics still run on floppy disks, or when the company felt forced to put out a statement swearing that it wasn't
Oh my gosh, I haven't even seen a floppy disk in forever. I used to like freaking sit there and just spin the circle thing forever. It was entertaining.
When the company felt forced to put out a statement swearing that it wasn't recycling pizza slices, although when you're issuing a statement denying that, you have already lost the argument. And perhaps the most notable way that Chuck E. Cheese can show up on the news these days is this.
Some kiddie parties have turned into battlegrounds, and it's the adults that are behaving badly.
We have several injured people here at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, we are on our way there.
There's a fight that broke out. We have people fighting.
What the hell?
I need a cop, I need an ambulance, I need everything.
Wow! A 911 call from a Chuck E. Cheese should not sound the same as one made after any Philadelphia sporting event.
I remember a kid peeing on the animatronic at a birthday. What? Ew! Wow. Gross. I remember the WoW 7 CD downloads. Oh my god, that reminded me of all the Sims. Every time I needed to reinstall The Sims and you're getting freaking, you have like 10 CDs or more. What a nightmare.
But the fact is, adults do seem to love to fight at Chuck E. Cheese viciously and often. Just search Chuck E. Cheese fight on Google and you will unlock hours of content, as well as
Wow.
articles like this one from 2008 about how just one Chuck E. Cheese in Wisconsin.
Hold on, wait, can we do it? Wait, can we actually? Hold on, let me see if I can actually find a Chuck E. Cheese fight. Video captures brawl in Chuck E. Cheese. Hold on, what's this?
Check this out. Adults acting like kids inside a SoCal Chuck E. Cheese. This video showing only one of 2 fights inside this supposedly kid-friendly restaurant in Victorville this week.
What in the hell?
Stunned onlookers, including children, watching as people threw punches and employees tried to break it up. Witnesses say it was over game
What?
coupons. The fight was Saturday. There was
Of
another fight
course.
Thursday. 2 women fought and ended up with minor injuries. Some parents say fighting at Chuck E. Cheese is
There's
disturbing.
with my coupons. How dare
Stuff
you
like that
steal
makes me
them?
not want to bring my kids to something that should be enjoyable for my kids.
I have to get a cool
You
sticker
know,
with those
it's wrong and it
coupons.
shouldn't happen like that.
Chuck E. Cheese has not commented on the fights, and here's the thing. Deputies say nobody was arrested either.
What? All right. So
Where did the Chuck E. Cheese fight go? Ooh! Oh my god! Oh! What the frick? They're like. What in the hell is happening? Why is there chaos? Oh my god, literally everyone is fighting. Everyone. What in the heck? Oh no, not at a birthday party! Yeah, run, man, run with the stroller. Just get out of there. Get out. Why? Are they just all fighting? What the heck? What the heck? Okay, back to the
Had
video.
called police to break up 12 fights in just 2 years. In the biggest fight,
12
7 officers
fights.
arrived and
Oh
found
my
40
God.
people knocking over chairs and yelling in front of the restaurant's music stage where a robotic singing chicken and the chained namesake mouse perform. With one
It's just this massive fight. Everyone's punching each other in the face and tackling, and just this giant robotic chicken in the background is singing.
local city official quoted as saying, "What parent is going to take their kids to a place where there is alcohol and pistols being brandished? It was like something out of a Quentin Tarantino film." And that sounds about right, doesn't it? Especially because if I had to take a guess, those fights, much like a Tarantino film, included a bunch of white people saying shit they really shouldn't be. Now, why does this happen so much? Why so much anger, darkness, and viciousness rearing its head in the brightly coloured, well-lit funhouse where it's been promised that a kid can be a kid? And you might be thinking, well, John, it's stressful to manage a group of children and there is booze. That is why fights start. But no. I believe it's much deeper than that. I believe that there is a rot at the heart of Chuck E. Cheese. And while I don't have a definitive answer, I do have a tantalising theory. And I'll be honest, when we started writing something about Chuck E. Cheese for you, we were thinking this will be 5-6 minutes tops. But the more we looked into it, the more fascinated we got. And this officially got out of hand. So I'm going to be talking about Chuck E. Cheese for, and I'm not kidding about this, the next 25 minutes. You can stop watching this at any time if you like, but this studio audience cannot leave. And abandon
We
them
can't leave
feels
now,
like a
not
pretty
allowed.
shitty thing for you to do. So, let's start at the very beginning. It was the spring of 1977. Woody Allen had the #1 movie in the country. The Son of Sam was terrorizing New York. And on May 17th, the first Chuck E. Cheese opened in San Jose, California. The restaurant arcade was
Pizza
the
Time
brainchild
Theater.
of Nolan Bushnell, co-founder of Atari.
That is
you know,
a
the company
terrifying
made
creature.
classic games like Space Race,
Atari!
Asteroids, Pong, Pong Doubles, Super Pong, Ping Pong, Hockey Pong, Super Pong 10,
Oh.
Ultra Pong Doubles.
Wait, who originally owned Roller Coaster Tycoon? Who originally owned Roller Coaster Tycoon? Never mind, Fudge Atari. They're the ones that ruined Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Quadrupong, every single one of those is real, by the way. Bushnell was looking for a way to make money off his game's usage in arcades and add entertainment to mealtime, something that he once described as fundamental to the human experience. Because in discussing the invention of Chuck E. Cheese, he once said, and I quote, "Throughout history, there was a celebration, and the celebration had food, drink, and games without exception. Whether you were talking about the summer solstice with primitive man to the circuses in Rome, there was always an entertainment element. I always felt that was something that was lacking in restaurants. I wanted to add a dimension of fun to the act of having a meal." And this feels like a pretty good time to remind you that in the 1970s, literally everyone was on drugs. Also, if you're thinking...
Everyone's always on drugs! So much of these history videos that we have watched, drugs are somehow involved. Somehow, in every single history. Friggin' Coca-Cola literally had Coke. Why is there drugs in everything? Why? That's how the world was back then. Yeah, apparently. Apparently. Someone is always doing cocaine.
Solstice? Circuses in Rome? Those both sound very violent and sexual. Yes, exactly. We will get to that. Remember this moment, because it will be important later. The point is that Chuck E. Cheese was a response to the needs of the primal id of humanity. Check that superego at the door. As for the animal theme, Bushnell claims that his decision to include talking animals was inspired by his trip to Disneyland's Tiki Room, which in a way makes sense, doesn't it? Chuck E. Cheese is kind of like Mickey Mouse but a rat.
Oh my gosh. Huh. I never thought of that. Except Chuck E. Cheese looks a lot more terrifying. His nose is just like turned down and Mickey Mouse's is turned up. My dad's favorite joke in the world is to stand on a dictionary and act out scenes from Hamlet, but it's just a play on words. Get that? The freaking drive-by dad joke.
But interestingly, that's not initially what Bushnell was going for with the character.
Originally, Bushnell planned to name the restaurant Coyote Pizza, so he ordered what he thought was a coyote costume for his lead animatronic. It turned out to be a rat, and Bushnell decided to run with it. First, he thought of changing the restaurant's name to Rick Rat's Pizza, but his team convinced him that having rat in a restaurant's name wasn't the best idea. So they agreed on calling the mascot Chuck.
Chuck E. Cheese
oh my God, that
was
is
almost
horrifying.
more geared towards adults.
That is
He
so
smoked
scary.
A cigar, he had a Jersey accent. It was kind of like an adult night out.
Like, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you.
Why is it so scary?
That's true. That is true.
And kids love it.
The original Chuck E. Cheese was supposed to be a coyote, and once a rat was actually a bit of a saucy Jersey arsehole. In fact, here is one of the original animatronic shows from 1979.
By now, it's probably no surprise to
Oh
anybody
my
that we got
God.
a birthday number coming up here.
Well, it's a surprise to me. I didn't even get a present.
Me neither, Big C.
What
That's
the
'cause it's not your birthday,
frick?
nitwit. Oh, yeah.
What?
Jeez, folks, I got it.
Oh my God, I don't remember them being this creepy looking. Holy shit.
It's a tough way to make a living, sitting up here plugged into the same computer as that fruitcake dog. Anyway, listen, let's find out which table is having a birthday party.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese was basically an insult comic. He was mean. He was dangerous. It felt like at any moment he was about to put his cigar out on a child's arm. He was Joan Rivers meets Don Rickles meets every uncle on the Jersey Shore. Every birthday party probably started with the delivery of a pizza and ended with Chuck mercilessly destroying a 5-year-old. And the act was filled out by other characters like the aforementioned Mr. Munch, a perma-hungry husky alien from Planet Purple who Bushnell said was kind of our cookie monster. Then there was Jasper T. Jowls, the southern cowboy dog who, when first introduced, was flanked by Confederate flags, and who Bushnell later described by saying the hound dog was stupid as shit. Then there was Dolly Dimples, a seductive hippo torch singer that would flirt
I don't
with
remember
patrons for a quarter.
her.
As the first president of the company,
What
Jean
the hell?
Franco later said, every time she hit a high note, her boobs went up and down.
What?
Her boobs went up and down when she hit her high note, and then the kids were enamored with this, and I said, oh my God, what have I done here? And I can actually answer that for you, because it's very simple. You turned one of the world's deadliest
Mummy, can I have a quarter? I want to make the hippo's boobs go up and down. Mommy, please, please. I only went to Chuck E. Cheese once when I was really young for a friend's birthday. Oh man, I used to like go all the time. We went all the time just to like hang out and for birthday parties and everything. Hello, Jiro. Hello.
Animals into a headline performer at your casino and titty bar for children.
A seductive
did.
hippo.
Also, do you have any idea how astronomically horny you have to be to build mechanical dancing breasts for an animatronic hippo? It takes an otherworldly horniness to even pitch something like that in a business meeting. Probably multiple meetings, by the way, because I know...
Okay, I have the best pitch for you guys. So in this kid's place, we want to make an animatronic hippo and the boobs bounce up and down. Yes, when she sings and she hits the high notes, the boobs bounce up and down. This is perfect for a kid place. Yes.
It was a different era.
It's
but
perfect.
Surely that wasn't an immediate yes from everyone around the table. At some point you had to say, you know what, I want to circle back to my previous point about the hippo breasts, if that's okay. And once it was okay, you had to relay that level of horniness to a team of engineers, other human beings. You gave them notes like, I think we can get more movement here, don't you? It's fucking madness and I love it. So look, it's clear from the start that Chuck E. Cheese was pulling from a lot of inspirations, Disney, Sesame Street, and porn. And they augmented all of this with a costumed character of Charles Entertainment Cheese who would walk around the restaurant. And as we now know, this concept was a smash hit. People absolutely loved the shit-talking rat and his boundary-pushing antics. By 1980, they'd added dozens of stores, even a few internationally, and began franchising. The problem was, pretty soon, their success attracted imitators. There was Captain Andy's, Rivertown Restaurant, there was Tex Critter's Pizza Jamboree, Major Magic's All-Star Pizza Review, Gadgets,
I've
Gigglebees,
never heard of
Pizza
any
Planet,
of those.
which had a truly horrifying mascot.
Now you can celebrate your birthday
Never
with
heard of
pepperoni and Sylvester Stallion at the Pizza Planet.
No.
Honestly, still not as creepy as Chuck E. Cheese looks. Not even close.
I hate that so much. I hate everything about Dollar Store Kung Fu Panda here. I swore to myself I would go
take
to my
this
grave,
over Chuck E.
never
Cheese.
knowing what it would look like if a panda bear fucks Michael Myers. And that promise has now been fundamentally broken. But Chuck E. Cheese's big rival was a chain called Showbiz Pizza Place. And at this
Still
point in the
never
story,
know them.
we are meeting our antagonist. And as in so many great myths, the antagonist actually started out as an ally.
You know, the only Chuck E. Cheese, like, we still have a Chuck E. Cheese here, but, like, now I'm tempted to go and see what it's like. Jello and I need to go to the Chuck E. Cheese here for experimental reasons.
Chuck E. Cheese's success caught the attention of businessman Robert Brock, and he signed on to franchise more than 200 locations. But that same year, Brock ended up canceling the deal, finding an engineer for animatronics and launching a family restaurant chain of his own. He called it Showbiz Pizza.
The concept was pretty much the same. It was different characters, but the same kind of like pizza, arcade games. There was definitely a rivalry between the two at the time.
And Showbiz had arguably better animatronics.
Wow.
Children's friends were limited to frames on the wall.
Look at that
Showbiz
gorilla.
had an entire band called Rockafire Explosion, made of full body characters.
Now that is a pretty clear
Wow.
advantage, isn't it? Chuck E. Cheese character.
These pizza arcade places have crap for pizza. I don't remember what it was like. I remember loving it, but I mean, I guess as a kid, you're just like, yeah, pizza. Can we even go to Chuck E. Cheese as adults? Can we? Or do we need a kid? I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it will be fine. Me and Jello have to go to the Chuck E. Cheese now to try the pizza. See if it's crap.
Characters were trapped on the wall like dead-eyed, furry Hogwarts portraits. So if you wanted your children to have three-dimensional, fully articulated nightmares, Showbiz was really the only place for you to go. The Rockafire explosion was the result of a collaboration between Robert Brock and engineer Aaron Fector. They basically took Nolan Bushnell's idea for an animatronic band and they near perfected it. And they made other adjustments to get an edge over Chuck E. Cheese too, including a room where moms could go to watch soap operas while the kids play. Likely a big step up from the treatment that moms got at Chuck E. Cheese.
Freak, yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure involved Chuck calling them toots and whistling as they bent over the skee-ball machine. Come on, it's my birthday! Showbiz Pizza was a big hit. And unfortunately, things got bad for our cranky rat. Chuck E. Cheese sued Showbiz Pizza, resulting in a 2-year legal battle that they eventually won. But Then came the video game industry crash of 1983, and arcades were hit hard. Chuck E. Cheese saw its revenue plummet to the point where they lost $15 million just that year. And like the dumbest person in your family...
15 million! Holy shit! Who was watching? Who was watching the kids? Yeah, the creepy mascot, yeah. Nobody, it was just chaos. It was chaos everywhere. Nobody was watching the kids.
Playing Monopoly, Chuck E. Cheese declared bankruptcy. Showbiz Pizza, however, was somehow able to weather the storm. And in a cataclysmic move that would forever change the world as we know it, Showbiz snaps up its competitor. That's right, Showbiz Pizza snatched the rat. The copycat bought the original. I will hold for gasps now.
Oh my God.
In 1985, the Showbiz and Chuck E. Cheese merger was completed, but here is an unexpected twist, because it soon turns out the new company could no longer use the Rockafire explosion because Aaron Fechter, their creator, had parted ways with the company, but still owned the rights and declined to hand them over to the newly merged company, essentially killing his own creation's music career. With the Rockafire characters now off the table, the new chain made the best of a bad situation and started to retrofit the animatronics to convert them to Chuck E. Cheese characters, even putting out this horrifying video for franchises to understand exactly how to strip the robots down. Now, quick side note here. There are still massive Rockafire Explosion fans out there who've collected and carefully restored the old original animatronics. A while back, one fan even went viral by programming his private collection to sing current radio hits like, and this is real, Usher's entertained? Are you not entertained? I have no notes. I have nothing to say about that other than how great it is. They should play the next inauguration, whoever it is for. And look, I would be remiss if I didn't show you how they handled
Why are we playing that in a freaking kid's place? Oh, we have ads. Sometimes the mascots in the costume don't even work there, but just... What? What? Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. So I would have went to Chuck E. Cheese then after the Showbiz people took over it. So maybe that's why I don't remember them being so creepy. I guess we will see though. I guess we will see. A child's mind doesn't see everything too innocent then? Yeah, that is true. I wouldn't have thought anything of this song other than just like, oh my God, this song is awesome. Hell yeah. I just ate. Ugh. I'm trying to be really good on my diet lately. I'm basically doing like fasting. So I try to fast for 16 hours. So I don't eat breakfast really anymore. I eat around between 12 and 1 p.m. But I wanted crumble cookie. I wanted crumble cookie this week because I wanted to try some of the flavors they have. So I had cookies for dinner. I had cookies for dinner because their cookies are really big and they're like 800 calories. So I was like, guess that's my dinner then. So I'm only mildly suffering, but it's fine. It's fine. It's worth it. Tomorrow, I have no more dessert. But surprisingly, like it was hard fasting, I'd say maybe for like the first week, but now I think my body's more used to it. Sometimes I get hungry, like in the morning and stuff, but I assume my body then like forces itself to start using the energy reserves that it has. Like sometimes I'm sitting there at my desk at work and my stomach does the loudest gurgle and I'm just like, don't mind the gurgling. I'm sorry. Fine. I only have 2 more hours before I can eat. And my tummy is just like, gur, 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 gur. Oh yeah, I have to drink my flat ginger ale. Yum. All right, ads are over.
That song's rap break, because however you think they did it, it's better. Perfect. There are not many songs dirtier than Love in This Club, and it's frankly astonishing.
Oh my God.
The presentation of it is through these wildly wholesome animatronic characters, and at this point, I actually have a quick side note to the side note that we are already on, because the resurgence in interest in the Rock-afire explosion about a decade ago resulted in the band being recruited to perform with CeeLo Green in the midst of his legal troubles live in Las Vegas in 2013.
I remember CeeLo Green.
We do have a clip from the performance, and one part in particular doesn't hold up great.
Got some news for you. Sexual harassment.
I mean,
what the freak?
I mean,
what?
Come on, Mr. Policeman, I gave you all the clues. Now back to Chuck E. Cheese. The new animatronics expanded the range of what the band could do, including the addition of a redesigned Helen Henny, the chicken songstress, who added a lot of class to the act.
Oh my God, I feel like I remember. That's the Chuck E. Cheese I remember. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, that's the Chuck E. Cheese I remember. I actually even remember the chicken.
Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town? And all that jazz.
Come on, that there is a star. Just look at Mother Darling. Face beat, body snatched, hair teased so much it's in therapy as we speak. That is a mother-clucking lip-sync assassin right there. And then on the drums, there was Pasquale, who I can only describe as illegally Italian.
Pasquale the chef here, and I'm keeping time. I provide the rhythm while we sing the rhyme. I'll be the first to tell you that I'm quite a ham. Everyone can see the great comedian I am.
I do hope that I'm not perpetuating the same thing that I'm condemning when I say, now that's a spicy hate to crime. By the mid-1990s, Chuck E. and the gang were in their absolute prime, producing full-fledged music videos, educational content and sketch shows to be played in stores. In 1999, they even made a feature-length film titled Chuck E. Cheese in the Galaxy 5000. The basic plot is this. A child named Charlie Rocket needs $50,000 to fix his aunt and uncle's tractor. And the only people who can help are Chuck and the gang. Now, why is the maintenance of vital farm equipment a child's responsibility? It is never made clear, but...
What the hell? I never seen this movie. What?
For an intergalactic race, the titular Galaxy 5000 to win the prize money.
That's it. I know what we're watching for Discord community night.
History, but here is
Chuck
just a
E. Cheese
taste of
movie.
the tone.
I'm Chucky, and this is my navigator,
Hell yeah, let's go.
Hiya, I'm Astrid. I think racers are so fascinating.
So, you'll meet me at the soda shop after the race tomorrow?
You bet.
See ya.
This is for kids, right? Right? I have questions. I have just a few questions.
Yep. They're all sexually attracted to human women. That is canon.
Oh my gosh.
Keep it in their pants while I literally...
Was she sewn into that dress? Maybe.
Little child is with them, but no. They are honking if they are horny. They are engaging in... Yeah, what's the term, CeeLo?
Flirting. Oh, yes, that. Yep.
I knew you'd know.
Yeah, that.
Needless to say, at this point, Chuck E. Cheese was on top of the world. But the good times never stay good, do they, friends? By the 2010s, sales were down and their cultural cachet was drying up. So in 2012, the company went looking for a new direction to breathe some life into the...
Adults have to watch the kids, so some adult stuff will be hidden that kids won't understand. Yeah, that's... I mean, that is fair. That's fair. It's just... It's wild because, like, if they did that in kids stuff these days, they would just get eaten alive. They would get eaten alive because everyone would be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you put this stuff in kids stuff and it's going to like corrupt their minds." Did you see? Yeah, it was very tight fitting what she was wearing. Oh wait, we only yeah, look how tight it is. Oh my gosh. Hold on, wait, where were we? About here.
No. Needless to say, at this point, Chuck E. Cheese was on top of the world, but the good times never stay good, do they, friends?
Aww.
By the 2010s, sales were down and their cultural cachet was drying up. So in 2012, the company went looking for a new direction to breathe some life into the brand. And the one that they took was absolutely outrageous. No longer was Chuck E. the wisecracking rat of the 70s and 80s, or indeed the cat-calling smooth talker of the 90s and 2000s. Now he was, according to the company, not a rat at all. He was a mouse with a never-before-heard backstory that they published into a full book. The new origin story goes that Chuck E. Cheese grew up in an orphanage named, wait for it, Saint Marinaras, and, quote, because Chuck E. was an orphan, no one knew when his birthday was, so he never had a birthday party of his own.
What
this
the
made
hell?
Chuck E. sad. So, after winning $50 in a Pong tournament, good cross-branding, by the way, he runs away to New York City, where he sleeps above the kitchen in a pizzeria. He's then discovered by a...
Oh my god, they have a whole book! As a kid, I didn't realize most of the jokes. When I watched it as an adult, I'm like, I can't believe I was allowed to watch this. Yeah, that's true. As a kid, all of that stuff would have just flew right over my head. Yeah.
Friendly Italian chef named Pasquale, who hears Chucky sing and declares, "A mouse that can sing? My restaurant is saved. I'm gonna make you a star." All this is to say, Chuck E. Cheese was now a far cry away from the cigar-smoking, shit-talking rat that started it all. Then, in 2017, in a devastating blow, the company made this terrible decision.
Chuck E. Cheese restaurants are disbanding the classic animatronic band. The restaurant simply says the taste of people have changed over 40 years, so the kids these days, they're not really interested in the robot troupe.
Oh, really? They're not interested in the robots, are they? Well, if that is true, then fuck kids these days. I don't typically hop into the generation wars because I've got a
What do you mean?
Gen
The
X
robots
birth
are
certificate
cool.
and a boomer body. But if Gen Z,
Animatronic.
or whatever the fuck comes next with the cause of all of this, they can burn in the fires of eternal hell. But sadly, it is true. The animatronics started getting phased out, which is already brutal enough, but apparently when a store gets rid of them or closes, a company policy requires them to destroy Chuck E. Cheese's head and other branded items, something that a local newspaper reporter once captured on video.
It's moving day for Chuck E. Cheese. This is Lorraine Swanson.
Uh...
And we're smashing up the Chuck E. head.
What? No! Chuck E. Cheese, no!
I guess it's symbolic. They're smashing a Chuck E. Cheese head while a Chuck E. Cheese store goes out of business. It's not exactly subtext, is it? To the extent that there is symbolism there, it's from the Darren Aronofsky school of subtlety and hints. The point is, the company hit a major speed bump in the mid-2010s, and the pandemic just made things worse. And in a sign of just how desperate they were to stay afloat, the company wound up doing this.
It just makes them
listen to this. A Reddit customer, Reddit
But if there's no animatronics there, then there's nothing even special about it anymore. What the hell?
user, I should say, in Philadelphia thought that she was supporting a local pizza business when she ordered from Pasquale's Pizza. But when her food arrived, it looked familiar. She texted Grubhub, the driver, to say, "Hey, just curious, was this food from Chuck E. Cheese?" Turns out the chain is operating a restaurant under a different name, Pasquale's Pizza and Wings.
What the fuck, Chuck E. Cheese? You can't just change your name and pretend to be something else. That's
Sure
for
they
rap
can, why
artists
not?
looking to mix it up and companies that did one too many genocides. Look, I know I've been talking about Chuck E. Cheese for longer than anyone thought was humanly possible, but this actually brings me to my point here. Chuck E. Cheese has completely lost the plot. Remember when I said I was working up to a theory? This is that moment right now. My theory is Chuck E. Cheese was a brand founded on darkness. There was an inherent meanness, a viciousness, a danger embedded in the company from the jump. It was modelled on solstice celebrations and Roman circuses. Its tone was left of centre and in a fucking ditch. Chuck E. Cheese was an arsehole. Kids could scent that. They craved it. They liked being negged. And the parents appreciated kids' entertainment with some edge to it. Moms were horny for the taboo, attracted to the danger. And dads loved to watch the heaving bosom of an oversexed animatronic hippo.
Of the freaking hippo.
Even Nolan Bushnell himself once spoke about Chuck E. Cheese at a professional tech talk like this.
You can't imagine the weird things that people do from inside of a Chuck E. Cheese costume. The other thing that you don't know is the weird things that employees do in the Chuck E. Cheese changing room closet.
I don't want to know.
Door, small space, anyway.
I don't want to know.
Think about that.
I don't want to know.
I'm pretty sure the founder of Chuck E. Cheese just admitted that people fuck in the costume closet.
They're under investigation for credit card fraud. Of course they are. What else is new?
And jerk it in the mascot suit. That is the guy responsible for your childhood memories. I bet when I made that joke earlier about Mr. Munch being named explicitly after cunnilingus, you thought that I was reaching a bit. You're not so sure about that now, are you? But the point here is, Nolan Bushnell was a weirdo who made a boundary-pushing pizza saloon that people went cuckoo over, and with every sanitized rebrand, with every attempt at making Chuck E. Cheese the target of sympathy instead of disgust, the more the customers absorb the rage that once belonged solely to Chuck, and now the balance is all out of whack. When Chuck E. Cheese was off-kilter, you as a customer were free to relax. But now that the rat is a brain-dead singing birthday orphan with no discernible personality, who clearly doesn't fuck intergalactic NASCAR pit chicks no more, the universe is just off its axis. So where is this all leading up to? Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I stopped intellectually absorbing anything that I've said about 15 minutes ago, but the prompter is telling me to say this. Chuck E. Cheese, you have lost your way. And we want to help you help yourselves. You know, recently, we discovered that another beloved rodent is set
Bring back the horny animatronics. Bring them back.
to enter the public domain in the US at the end of this year. The original Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse will soon be a free agent, and I would heavily recommend that you consider adopting him. He is the perfect fit. He's a famous rodent who loves to entertain, and he won't be afraid to push boundaries, because once he enters the public domain, you can easily turn a sweet, lovable mouse into a shit-talking one. I'll show you just how it could work. Please, come out here, Mickey. Please, come say hi. Come say hi to everyone. Hey there, Mickey.
No way!
How you doing? Hey. Wow. Where's Shelley? You really won't let that go, will you, Mickey?
No, they haven't found her yet, have they?
Well, no, they haven't. That's a solid point, Mickey. In order to restore balance to the Chuck E. Cheese universe, we promise that he will hit you with that classic hostile crowd work that this brand was frankly built on top of. How would you say happy birthday to the kids, Mickey?
You're not special. Nothing about you is special.
I love it, Mickey. That is just cold-blooded. And instead of singing happy birthday to your kids when he brings out the pizza, he'll say this.
As a citizen of the United States, you are part of the most violent, genocidal, imperialistic empire the world has ever known. Your silence is complicity.
Good Lord, Mickey. And if you're wondering if this one will jerk it from inside the costume, to that we say...
Oh, I'm doing it right now.
And we wouldn't have it any other way. So the offer is on the table.
Yeah, let's
Chuck
go.
E. Cheese, this disguster mouse could soon be yours. That is our show.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching. Good night. Here he is. Nom.
Oh my God.
Hey, Mickey. Don't loom. Don't loom over me. This is sexual harassment.
I used to be weirdly attracted to the black and white mouse. That's okay. I was attracted to Kovu from The Lion King. Yup. Oh my God. So what the frick does the Chuck E. Cheese then look like inside? If there's no animatronics, there's just kid rides. And well, that's boring. Never mind, I don't want to go anymore. I don't want to go anymore to Chuck E. Cheese. There's no animatronics. God damn it. God darn it. Can't believe there's no more horny animatronics. That's what made Chuck E. Cheese. Apparently. Now that I know. Little child me had no idea. Not a clue.